Okay, well, welcome everybody. Good to see you all. Let's begin. I appreciate you coming on time. So I do want to try to end on time, and to be honest, I have no idea exactly how long this is going to take, but what I can promise you is that you'll be more relaxed when you finish. We have a lot of different techniques that I put into this, so you'll get a taste of a bunch of different things. And so this is the first week of a 4-part series, as you probably know. The next week is on focus, and then after that we will be de-stress, and then the 4th week connects. So this is just all about relaxing yourself as week number 1. Now you can sign up for all 4 of them, or just any of the ones that you choose to focus on is perfectly fine. So just wanted to start with saying, where are you now in terms of how relaxed are you? And you can simply rank yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being super chilled, relaxed. You can't get any more relaxed. You're just about, taking a nap, I suppose. 1 being tense. So let's do it that way. 1 being tense and not relaxed at all, and 10 being super relaxed. And just give yourself a score. And this is just for you. And what you might try is, at the end of the class, if I remember, I'll ask you to rank yourself again and just see if it's changed by the time we get to the end of this class, after we try a few things. Then you also might try perhaps on a weekly basis. This is really kind of the foundation of a lot of mindful practices, but really the whole course. Being able to relax ourselves is one way to kind of really be present, to be able to be focused, it can help us with stress, and it can help us with connection with others too. So it really is a foundational practice. Now, I put up here some other suggestions if you want to try these out on our website, the Achieve Solutions site, and you can go here and do any of these assessments. You can also let me know if you would like the perceived stress scale. I don't require this for the class, but if you want this, it's a simple scale. It's self-scoring, and it tells you what your perceived stress is. And of course, that's really more pertinent to the 3rd class. So let me just move on. So here I'm going to start with this image, and I'm going to make this, hopefully you can hear this okay. I'm just going to let this stream. It's about a 2-minute video. I'll talk a little bit, but then I'll just kind of let it run its course as a way to kind of set the stage, and kind of maybe get us relaxed a little bit. Let me ask, can people hear this okay? And by the way, you can use the chat, so can't hear, okay. Thank you, Rosa. So I'm going to go back, stop the share. Sorry about this. Just pause, share it again. I think I have to click on these special things here. Let's try this now. Now, do you hear the waves coming in? Somebody let me know in the chat. Yes, good. Come on, let's go. Here we go. Okay. So just take a minute to absorb this. And again, just a little bit more about the class. This is a 4-week class. You don't have to take all 4 weeks. I will be recording these. You probably saw that I've got this in record mode so that you can view it later. I'll also send the slides out to you. Now, I have a class roster from the LMS that you signed up on. So I can use that, and I'll just send it out based on those people who signed up. If you didn't sign up on that, just let me know, either in the chat or send me an email. And just make sure, if you didn't, then I just want to make sure I capture your email. The other thing that we actually don't know is about Know Your Numbers for next year. And in last year, EFR workshops were able to be used for Know Your Numbers credit. So, if you want to put in your name in the chat that you were here, I can collect those at the end. So feel free to do that if you think you want Know Your Numbers credit for next year. If they give it for these, I think they will. So do put that in. So we have another few seconds. Just kind of watch this scene. Just kind of be there if you can, just sort of as a way to begin with some relaxing, and just maybe notice your state right now. Is there tension? How's your breathing? What's going on in the mind? Okay, so that was just a quick pause, and just to kind of like talk a little bit about how powerful a quick pause can be. Some of the practices I'm going to give you are maybe take more like 5 or 10 minutes, but even a 1 or 2 minute or 3 minute pause can really help to change gears psychologically. And so the next practice I want to do with you is, I would like you to simply just be comfortable in your chairs. Take a moment to sit in a way that's just really comfortable. So whatever that means for you, and that could even mean laying down, I suppose, if you have a way to do that.
Lady.
Or sitting back in the chair and just really letting the body settle in. I'm going to mute everybody right now just to cut down on the background noise. And if you want to unmute yourself later, you can. So now that you've let your body settle into a comfortable, relaxing position, what I'd like you to do, and this is going to be kind of a quick, relaxing type body scan, okay? Just to take a few minutes, sort of a quick, purposeful pause. You can close your eyes if you'd like, but you don't have to. You can keep them slightly open. Your choice. And I want you to imagine at the top of your head, there's a white ball of light, very warm, soothing light. See if you can sort of picture that. White might even be yellowish, kind of nice and warm light at the top of your head. And we're going to let this white light flow down through our body all the way to the toes. I'm going to guide you down through that. And as this drifts down, it's going to spread this wave of warm, soothing relaxation, okay? So starting at the top of your head, just letting it sort of spread through your face and around the back of your skull and your ears. And just, it's letting everything relax and soothe and be nice and soft and easy. And letting the white light flow down into the neck and the shoulders, soothing and relaxing and softening as it goes. Right down the arms, all the way to the fingers, letting the hands relax, fingers relax. Maybe taking a couple of deep breaths as we do this. We come back to the shoulders and letting the white light drift down into the upper chest, into the heart and lung area, the upper back. Relaxing as it drifts down into the middle part of the torso, down into the belly, the middle back, and then the lower back, the lower torso into the lower belly and the pelvic region. So you can feel the whole torso nice and relaxed. Also the head and the shoulders. And then just let that wave of relaxation Move down into the legs, the upper legs first, slowly washing through, relaxing the leg muscles, down through the knees, the lower legs, down into the ankles, and all the way down to your feet, and just letting the feet be relaxed and easy as you feel the connection your feet make with the ground. Continuing to breathe nice and easily, and then just feeling this warm, white, soothing light infuse the whole body. So being aware of the whole body being nice and warm and soothed and relaxed. And just noticing what that feels like, noticing where you might feel this sense of relaxation in the body. And when you're ready, if your eyes have been closed, you can open them. And again, just kind of see what that feels like before we move on. And feel free, as I'm going along here, to put into the chat what your reaction was to these exercises. I'll open it up at a time or two just to see if you have any comments. Feel free. I'd love you to share a little bit, if you'd like to, of what that was like. All right, I'm going to put this presenter view on. Now, just if somebody could tell me, moving away from a shared application. I'm not sure why it's doing that. Very good. Feels really good to pause and relax. Give myself permission. Glad you said that. That's kind of what we're doing, giving ourselves permission. I'll stop the share again. I'm seeing a funny message. I woke up this morning with no internet service. Talk about stressful, right? And there's all these kinds of things that happen and they trigger us. And so we're going to be talking about all of that kind of stuff. Let's see. Let's bring it here. So you should just see my the power of the pause slide. Do you see that? Somebody let me know. That's all you see, just making sure that this works. Help me make aware of spots of increased tension. Yeah, that's kind of what that was about too. Yeah, you see that too, okay, huh? I'm not sure why it's doing that. Don't want you to see that. All right, stop it again. Sorry for this little glitch. I'll take a deep breath myself. There again. Okay. All right, coming to this next slide. So basically what we're trying to do is we're trying to train our mind and our body to experience this peace in the moment, right? And Jill Bolte Taylor is a neuroanatomist who, this is her quote, "It means that you're capable of tapping into a blissful or peaceful state of mind amidst the normal chaos of a hectic life." And we all have hecticness and chaotic days, right? So what we're trying to do here is train our mind and our body to be able to tap into that place quickly and easily, no matter what's going on. And this particular, when you get the slides, you'll see there's a link to a video. You might want to watch this by Jill Bolte Taylor. And she says that the 90-second reset, the 90 seconds is all about, that's the time when, from the point of being triggered, okay, when you get triggered by a stressor, where your thoughts come up and you start thinking things about it, what are you telling yourself about the event? You start to feel the feelings, and then you feel the physiological response, okay? So you think the thoughts, you feel the emotions, you feel the physiological response. That takes less than 90 seconds. So that's why it is good to be aware. I mean, that's what that first exercise was a little bit about. Maybe you're aware of where some of those attention is in your body. Okay, so What we want to do during this brief period is notice what's happening. And she talks in the video about the amygdala. It's the fight, flight, or freeze part of the brain, right? That's what gets triggered. And also pointing out that, by the way, our amygdalas, our limbic systems, have been on fire since the pandemic. So we're kind of already in a heightened state of fight or flight or freeze. And in a way, we're kind of swimming against the tide. So that makes it a little bit tougher. So you have to do some of these things with intention. So I want you to begin paying attention the next time there's a trigger and the next time you feel yourself start to rev up. So if there's a trigger and you might feel that physiological response, maybe you notice it in your gut or your chest or your jaw. And all you need to do really is to use your attention to tap into your higher cortical brain functions, to soothe, bring your mind to the present moment and observe. And that's essentially what mindfulness is. So we're going to show you a couple of other techniques to do that. But it really starts with that awareness of what you notice when you're triggered and when you're not feeling tense, or rather when you're not feeling relaxed, when you are feeling tense. So every time you feel yourself becoming anxious, and then you consciously choose to shift your focus from alarm and alert, you train it to respond differently. And because of our amazing neuroplasticity, in other words, the ability of our brain to change as we learn new things, the more you practice, the stronger that circuitry in the brain becomes, and you'll spend less time feeling anxious and more time able to tap into this relaxing place. So when you get the slides, you might want to watch that video. I think it's about 12 minutes long. It's really good. Now, here are just some purposeful pauses that you might try. Deep breathing. Of course, we all know about deep breathing, but do we remember to do it in the moment? This is another quick way to kind of reset, in a sense, and bring on the relaxation response. Couple of tips about deep breathing. And we're going to be doing a bunch of breathing, by the way. So when you breathe deeply, make sure that you use your diaphragm. In other words, you're feeling that when you're breathing in, you're feeling the breath reach all the way down to the belly. So as you breathe in, feel the belly expand. It may help to put your hands on your belly, right around where your belly button is. So breathing in nice and deep, you feel the belly expand. And then when you breathe out, let the out breath be longer than the in breath, okay? And you can also, when you breathe out, you can breathe out through pursed lips. That's another way to kind of like in a long, thin stream, a really slow exhale. And that empties all the air out of the lungs. And then you breathe in again naturally, you fill up, and you breathe out. And the other thing that I would recommend is to do this for at least 3 times, 5 times, even 7 times is probably better. So at least 3 cycles of deep breathing to really bring on the relaxation response. And as I said, we're going to try a couple of other breathing techniques. Next quick technique is to savor, which is essentially stop and smell the roses. So when something positive happens, we tend not to let that sink in. So when there's something nice, something pleasant that happens, stop and take a moment to sense it. Use your senses fully if you can to appreciate it and savor it, and then move on. So it's an intentional pause. The everyday mindful awareness is simply things like washing your hands or many, many chores and routine tasks that we do during the day. These can be ways to anchor ourselves in the present moment. So just try this. And as I said before, as I'm going through these, maybe jot down 1 or 2 or 3 things that you want to try. But mindful awareness of these everyday tasks can be one of these. And all that really means is that when you're washing your hands, for example, just pay attention to washing your hands. And that stops the mind from traveling. It stops us from thinking about all the stuff that we've got to do. It stops really the tension and the stress cycle. So try that. And then, of course, there's all sorts of other things, and I've just listed a few here: music, gardening, exercise, nature, babies, puppies, and kittens. And I'd love for you, if you want to share and put into the chat, what's something that you do now that's relaxing? Might be a hot bath or a hot tub, or a walk, a walk in the woods, or sitting in front of a nice, blazing fire, whatever it is. But look, feel free to share in the chat if there's something you already do that relaxes your mind and your body. Love to hear some of those things that you try, that you already do. Because this is what we're trying to do here, is we're trying to add to our toolkit. Okay, so but let me know what's already working for you. All right, now the next thing that we're going to do is, speaking of kittens. All right, good, thank you. A couple of good suggestions there. Thanks, Roberta. So others, feel free to put in. There we go. Love it. So as I'm talking, feel free to type in a thing or two that you find that you already do that's relaxing. Now, what we're going to try now is progressive muscle relaxation. This is just another, we'll make this kind of quick, because I've got a bunch of things to show you. So again, just sit comfortably. And you can do this in lots of different positions, but I'm thinking most of you are probably sitting right now. So just sit with your feet flat on the floor, and then begin by taking a deep breath or two, letting it out slowly and gently. Close your eyes if you like, but again, you don't have to. And first, let's start by clenching your fists tightly and hold them for 1, 2, 3, and release. And notice how the tension flows away from your hands and your fingers when you do that. Now tighten your biceps by curling your fists up towards your shoulders and making a muscle pose with both arms. And again, hold it for 1, 2, 3, and relax. And again, feel the relaxation, feel the release of tension. Now do this with your shoulders by shrugging them upwards as if to touch your ears. And hold them, 1, 2, 3, and let them drop. Feel the tension leave. The shoulders are an area where we often hold tension. So you might want to do that again. Try the shoulders again. Bringing them upwards, tensing them for 1, 2, 3, and relax. Another area where we feel is in the face. So you can try the jaw. Perhaps let's try the jaw. Just tensing the mouth and the jaw muscles. Again, and holding for 3. I can't do that and talk at the same time. Hold it for 3. And release. And then do it with your eyes, your eyelids. Just squeeze your eyelids tight, holding them. And then release. Very good. Now come down into the heart and chest area and the torso and the stomach. And you can kind of do this all at once if you like, but kind of tense up the chest muscles and the stomach muscles, even the buttocks, tense them all up and hold that for 3. And then release. And again, notice. And you come all the way down into the legs and tense the legs and the feet. We'll do them all as one big group, holding them, tensing them for 1, 2, 3, and release and relax. Now take a deep breath and let it out really slowly. And imagine any tension in your chest or in your body at all, just blowing away with your breath. And we'll finish it there. That's a little bit of an abbreviated progressive muscle relaxation exercise. You can do this more completely, and what I'll do is when I send out the slides, I'll have an actual script that you can follow for this. But this is a great way to relax the body from head to toe with all the muscle groups. Now, staying with the cats for a minute. This is kind of a cat yoga. slide. And so just to quick mention about mindful movement or gentle yoga, stretching, kind of like progressive muscle relaxation, but just taking a moment to stretch slowly and mindfully. And when you stretch and then release, just feel what that feels like as a way to relax. And of course, it helps if you do sort of a structured exercise routine. I mean, it doesn't have to be a full thing, but if you go through several stretches that can really move through the body, that's another way to kind of just with movement, and especially with, if you're feeling like you're getting too relaxed, you might want to use some movement to kind of still relax, but get a little blood flowing through the body as well. All right, so next we're going to turn to breathing. We're going to talk a little bit more about breathing. So, we know with breathing that when we get stressed or anxious or tense, our breathing changes, right? It usually gets more shallow and more rapid. So, and I know we all know this, but the idea with this is really to take it to the next level and to really use some specific techniques and to do it with intention. So when we do breathing exercises, like we'll do a couple coming up, you'll begin to see that it can reset and change the mood as well. And that's the whole idea, is to get into that relaxed, peaceful place, right? All right, so taking a break here with this image, I want to run you through another breath relaxation exercise, okay? And as I said, we know that breathing has many benefits. So we're going to explore how just to be naturally aware of your breathing in a way to relax the mind and the body. And this can be useful in and of itself, and can be a starting point for a range of skills like concentration, wisdom, and compassion. And as I said, this is really these are all foundational practices for the rest of this course. So again, take a comfortable posture, take a moment to set the body where you're sitting, take a moment to be stable and balanced and alert. Usually when we're doing this sort of a thing, we're doing it in an upright way. So sitting in a way that you can be relaxed, but also alert. But probably relaxed is the most important part of this. So we'll start with taking a few slow, deep breaths in and out. You can go in through the nose and out through the mouth. And when you breathe out through the mouth, breathe out in a slow, even, thin stream of air. So in through the nose and then out through the mouth. Do that one more time. And again, you can have your eyes closed if you like, but they don't have to be closed. You can have them slightly open, whatever is most comfortable for you. And set an intention to put any thoughts of the past, the future, any memories, plans, worries, anxieties, put them to the side. Right now, all you have to do is be here and relax, and the rest can wait. So now feel your feet on the floor. Connect with the chair beneath you. Notice what it feels like, hard or soft. Notice the pressure. Notice the weight of your body. See if you can let your attention rest here for the next few moments. Steadying your attention in the present moment, using your body as an anchor. Now, in your own time, begin to notice the rhythm of your breathing. There's no reason to bear down or to narrow your focus to a specific point. For now, just see if you can be aware of the process of your breathing. What lets you know that you're breathing? Where do you feel it? As you breathe in, you might notice sensations of swelling, lifting, or expanding. And as you breathe out, you may sense some loosening, releasing, or a sense of letting go. Let your awareness begin to synchronize with your breathing, paying a little more attention with that feeling of settling and relaxing on the out breath. Explore this on your own for a bit, tuning into the rhythm and sensations of breathing. And try not to be bothered by thoughts or images or memories. Whenever you notice that the mind is tangled up in thinking, see if it can just pause inside, slow down and wait. Let your attention come back to the breath and the body on its own. And how we pay attention to the breath is very important. If we relate to it with a sense of pressure or intensity or force, the breath carries those qualities into the body, which begins to feel tight, cramped, or pressurized. If we approach the breath with a sense of spaciousness, with a light and easy attention, it begins to carry those qualities into the body, which begins to feel light, open, and spacious. So see if you can bring a light, relaxed awareness to the breathing. You don't have to try too hard or to force it. And it's even fine if the mind wanders a bit. See if you can get this attitude of relaxed, easy curiosity. So keep tuning into that gentle, steady rhythm, letting the breath move through the body, breathing in, receiving the breath, letting it come to you, breathing out, just letting it go, softening and relaxing. And as this meditation comes to a close, you can bring your attention back to those simple, steady sensations of contact. Your feet on the floor, your bottom on the chair. And in your own time, you can allow your eyes to open if they've been closed. Begin taking in the space around you, reconnecting, and give yourself a pat on the back for letting yourself relax and come along for the ride with that exercise. So thank you. So again, feel free to let me know what that was like. I'd love to hear any reactions or comments, or if there were any questions to that. Again, feel free to put that into the chat, or if anybody wants to speak up, I'll kind of pause right now.
But I just wanted to add
Thank you.
that what I have been finding that's helpful for me when I'm noticing that I'm tense is to let go with sound. Sound is really helpful for me, just like an sound.
Ah, okay, good. Yeah.
Like, and with the exhale. And I immediately feel a deeper state of relaxation.
That's great. Yeah, so you're kind of like sighing it out, and you're tuning into the sound. And and something we haven't really talked too much, I won't mention too much, but sounds can also be a way to anchor. So that's a great segue into this particular slide. What we're really doing with all these practices is we are anchoring ourselves.
You have to watch stuff.
What was that? Okay, so we're anchoring ourselves, we're grounding. And you can use grounding either through the breath, like we just did, or through the body, which we did in the beginning of the exercise. We anchored ourselves with our body in the chair, our feet on the ground. And you can do that just, on the go. You can do that in the car. You can do that standing in the line at the grocery store. You can do that when you're kind of stressed in a meeting or in an interchange with somebody. It's a great way to get out of your head and into your body and to anchor your attention. And actually, we'll talk quite a bit more next week as we do the focus one about that as well. So kind of what we're talking about here, I know some of you have been in my classes before. I use this particular cartoon all the time, but I like to relate this to when we're on autopilot. Our minds are often swirling around. They're full, right? They're full of all the stresses and worries and concerns. And this fella here is not anchored at all. The dog is anchored. The dog is using his senses, feeling everything. So if you're the person on the walk, all you have to do is begin to feel yourself as you're walking. Feel the contact your feet make with the ground. Feel the sun on your face. If you're walking the dog with a leash, feel the tug of the leash. All those sensations can be grounding and can be a great way to pull ourselves back into the present moment and away from the time travel where our minds often take us. Okay, so next exercise is a peaceful place. So what we're going to do with this one is we're going to take a few moments and we're going to imagine a peaceful place. Now, you can do this in your imagination. You can completely make up a place if you like in your mind's eye, or if you know of a place that's really peaceful that you've been to, a specific spot, feel free to conjure that up in your mind's eye. So what I'd like you to do now is just to sit again quietly, intentionally. It really helps for this one to close your eyes if you can. And as you close your eyes, take a couple of breaths. Feel your body in the chair. Let yourself be grounded through your feet or your body. Let yourself relax a bit. And in your mind's eye, bring up this peaceful place. And what we're going to do is we're going to paint the picture in a very direct way. So what I'd like you to do first is just with your vision, in your imagination, just paint the picture. What do you see? What colors are there? What textures are there? If you're outside, what do you see in terms of the landscape and the sky? If you're inside, what's in this whole scene? Just really looking around, seeing what you see in this place. And then next, what sounds do you hear? Listening to all the various sounds in this place. Again, if you're outside, it might be some bird song, or it might be the rustling of the wind through the trees. If you're inside in a particular scene, what sounds do you hear? Take a moment to really hear everything that's going on in this peaceful place. And then what do you feel? Not your emotions, but what sensations? Maybe the sun, the warmth on your face, or the breeze, or the comfort of your body sitting or standing, whatever position your body's in. Maybe the relaxed state of your body. And then if there's any smells or tastes, add those in, so that we're really painting the complete picture of yourself, and you're taking this kind of mental vacation with ourself. Make sure you can feel yourself right in the middle of this peaceful place, and just breathe nice and easily. No place to go right now. You can just enjoy, give yourself permission to relax and just be here. You don't have to do anything. There's nobody asking anything of you. It's just this wonderful, peaceful, tranquil place. And just notice what this feels like for you. And then we'll reconnect with our body in the chair where we're sitting. We'll notice the feet on the floor and the body in the chair, and maybe be aware of the breath again. And you can open your eyes as we finish this. Now that was just a couple of minutes. You can do that in a longer way or even a quicker way, but that's a great way to use some guided imagery to get away and to just really be peaceful. Another trick is, I won't really go through this. We don't have, I don't think I have enough time to cover this, but there will be a link to a practice for a body scan. And a body scan is a lot like the progressive muscle relaxation, except you're not tensing the muscle groups. You're just going through the body systematically. You're starting at either the top of the head or the tips of your toes, and you're just sensing and being aware of each body part. Okay, and you're going through one by one. You can relax as you go, but you don't have to. It's just simply awareness of the different body parts as we go through that. That is a great way to kind of get your into the body, out of your head. If there's a lot of swirling thoughts, if there are things going on that you want to kind of ground yourself, it's a perfect way to try that. So I'll show you where you can access some of these. So what I want to do, I do want to do this exercise. This is another breathing exercise. So we have 2 more breathing exercises. So we'll do these before we close. So this is the 4-6-8 breathing. You might have heard of this before. This is basically breathing into the count of 4 and then holding for the count of 6, which, you know, think about that, can be kind of, that's a long time, and then breathing out for 8. And we're going to do this a few times. I'm going to add some phrases in to this. You don't have to do this, add the phrases in, but this rhythm of breathing can be quite relaxing. And also when we're breathing in, I want you to feel the breath down in the belly that we talked about before, using the diaphragm. So let's just begin by breathing into the count of 4. So breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So on the second set again, inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hold it, and then release, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Continue that pattern, counting to yourself, breathing in to 4, holding for 6, breathing out to 8. And as you do that, imagine on the in-breath that you're breathing in fresh oxygen, filling all the cells in the body. And as you breathe out, imagine the tension draining out of the body, just draining out of the fingertips, like sand in an hourglass. And on the next inhale, repeating to yourself, I am well, and hold it, smiling inwardly to yourself, feeling compassion for yourself, and on the exhale, feeling that compassion, may I be safe, happy, and calm. Do that for another time or two, and just maybe kind of freestyle. You can use whatever words you like. Could be one word as you inhale, relax, or fill up, replenish, something like that. And then as you breathe out, long and slow, release, ease, anything you might like, calm. And if you find yourself distracted by thoughts, Simply acknowledge where your mind went and gently escort your attention back to the breathing without judgment. Just keep returning. It's not a problem if you have lots of thoughts. Don't give yourself a hard time. Thoughts are going to be there no matter what. In any meditation or breathing exercise, there are going to be a lot of thoughts. So that's part of the trick. Another thing you can try with this is you can imagine thoughts as a train going by and just don't get on it, letting it go. Or you can imagine thoughts like leaves on a stream floating by, just letting them, putting the thought on each leaf and letting them float down the stream. Whatever's helpful. Sometimes it's just letting them go and coming back to the breath, using the breath as an anchor. So that's the 4-6-8 breathing. All right, so the last exercise for the breathing, what I'd like you to try, this is kind of interesting. You can do this a couple of different ways. This is nostril breathing, alternate nostril breathing. One way is relaxing. I'm going to show you the relaxing way. And the other way is just the opposite. So if you're really kind of looking to chill out and you need to relax, go to sleep to bring on that relaxation response, you might try this. So again, close the eyes if it's available to you, if it's comfortable. Just maybe noticing your state of mind. And what I want you to do, bringing up your right hand and blocking your right nostril with your thumb. And as you're ready, taking a longer breath in through the left nostril. So slow breath in through the left nostril. And as you get to the top of the breath, close both sides gently. So you're pausing again. And then as you're ready, remove the right finger and breathe out of the right nostril. Okay? So you're breathing, you're holding the right nostril in to start, you're breathing in through the left, holding both, and breathing out through the right. In through the left, holding, out through the right. In through the left, holding for a sec, out through the right. And you can do that at a pace that feels reasonable to you. The point is you're breathing in through the left, out through the right. And that can be very, very relaxing. I can feel that even right now in my own state of relaxation. The opposite of that, breathing in through the left to start and then out through the right, is what they call a solar practice. The first one we did was a lunar practice. That second one was a solar practice. So the solar practice can be a little energizing. So you might try that as an alternate way to do that. So that's the nostril breathing. And I'll attach these all when I send the slides out so that you'll have them to refer to. One other thing that you can try is using your senses for relaxation. And these are just some suggestions. So soothing as we go, using your vision, looking through a photo album or on your phone, or looking at a nature scene. Or then use your hearing, a soothing piece of music, peaceful sounds from nature, whatever it is. Taste, savoring foods, maybe a new taste. And touch, feeling water in a bath, shower, or swimming, texture of sand or warm breeze on your skin, anything like that is fine. All right, so we're getting towards the end, and I'll close in just a minute, but I just kind of wanted to give you these last quotes because this is sort of a segue for the next class. The greatest weapon against stress is our ability to choose one thought over another. And as you probably noticed, our minds do generate thoughts. And we'll talk about this both in the focus class next week and the stress class in the week after. And we'll begin to see how we can change our focus as a way of training our attention, And then in the third class, we'll begin really focusing on how we can interrupt the stress cycle. And a lot of that is through choosing our thoughts. All right, so at this point, I'm going to just let this run, and going to let you go if you have to go. I appreciate your time, but just kind of open it up if there's any questions. Just kind of wanted to see. Feel free. Any questions about what we've done so far? And again, I'll be sending the slides out, and if you wanted to put into the chat anything about your attendance for Know Your Numbers, if we're able to do that next year, put that in there. Any questions that you might have. And if you have to go, I totally understand, but I want to thank you for coming and for being here. And at this point, I'll stop the recording.